This podcast is sponsored by Cube Gallery, the premier art space in Cebu City. Established in 2013, Cube has been working hand in hand with artists to bring artistic visions and diverse forms of creativity to life. Right now in Cube Gallery, the exhibition called Instant by French artist Camille Thibert. The exhibit is a collection of portraits made using a unique drilling technique on reclaimed wood. By making use of nature as a medium and humans as her subject, Thibert evokes a discussion on impermanence and vulnerability. The drilling, while necessary to her art form, is also a meditation on human nature. I visited Cube Gallery, looked at the work. It's impressive in its detail, and considering that it's made through like reclaimed wood. Impressive. I took a little video, I shared it on Instagram. But you should go visit Cube Gallery and check out Instant. Anyway, for more information, send them an email at info@cubegallery.ph or send a message to their Facebook page, Cube Gallery. This podcast is also sponsored by Advenient, a digital marketing firm that recently expanded operations to include European clients. It's run by a good friend of mine, Khalil Corazzo, and a little trivia for 032 Conversation listeners. Khalil was featured in the very first episode of 032 Conversations. And guess what? Advenient is hiring. They're looking for junior marketing technologists. So if you're a techie with a creative streak and you'd like to explore the world of marketing technology, send Khalil a message at 032@corazzo.org. That's 032 in numbers. So the number 032 at corazzo.org. And in case that's not clear to you, I'm going to put his email in the show notes. So send him an email at 032@corazzo.org. Let's get to the show. Welcome to 032 Conversations, the podcast where we talk to creatives, see how they live, and how they do their work. I'm your host, Carlo Villarica. How is everybody? How was your Monday? Did you vote? I hope you voted. I hope you went out and vote and exercised your divine right to choose the leadership of this country. But yeah, seriously, I hope you voted. I remember hearing this in a podcast, and I can't remember who said it, but he said something like, if you don't vote, that's like a vote for the status quo. And the truth is, no matter what the status quo is, there's always room to get better. So I hope you voted. Personally, I would be interested to see how the Philippines voted. By the time you hear this, the results might even be out already. So I'd like to put it out there. I hope that the Philippines, that the Philippine people, the Philippine population didn't just vote for the, based on like pure name recognition. Meaning like artistas. I hope they just didn't vote for like artistas for the sake of voting for artistas. I don't know. I mean, if they did, if the whole bunch of artistas won, or basically people who, I don't know. I mean, who am I to say though? Who am I to say they don't deserve the right? They don't deserve a space in office. But if it's just purely because they were an artista, they came out in a movie somewhere. I don't know. I'm hoping the Philippines voted the other way. I don't know, somebody else. And if the artistas won, and I'm gonna listen back to this, I'm just gonna consider this the hopeful side of myself. So I'm interested to see. I mean, considering that, I don't know. I might be naive when I say this, but considering that like there's Twitter, Facebook, and a lot of Filipinos are on it. I don't know. We'll see. I hope we see improvement in our elected officials. We'll see what happens. Anyway, this podcast, I talked to Kristiane Lim. And if you don't know Kristiane Lim, I found out about him through Strava. Strava is this like social media for athletes. Anyway, I followed. There's a bunch of people who I followed on Strava, and mostly because I wanted to see like what are the interesting routes around Cebu, as opposed to just going up Busay over and over again. Like Busay, the Trans Central Highway, like from JY Square going up to Busay. That's the most common route for cyclists, and I just wanted to see like what were other routes available, other places to cycle around Cebu. Because, if you don't know, there's a lot of good cycling around Cebu. It's mostly mountains, but there's a lot of back roads that connect to each other. And so Kristiane is one of the people who I followed because of that, primarily because of the routes. But then I later learned that he's basically a professional athlete. He's part of Team Organique Triathlon. So they have a triathlon team, the Team Organique, and then he's part of it. He's an honest to goodness like athlete. Like I think and I'm clearly I've not done any. I haven't read. I'm not sure what I'm going to say, but I think he won. There was a triathlon in Naga a few weeks back. I think he won that. In Davao, he was like third. So he's good. Like he's fast. That dude is I can't. He's an honest to goodness athlete. I've said it like 3 times. But so we talked a lot about triathlons, but mostly about cycling because that's what I'm doing. I'm personally interested in cycling, and then in about a month, I'm also joining an event called Cebu Epic, the 2009 event. It's basically a mountain bike event. And I'm going to be joining it. I'm going to be using my gravel bike because I don't own a mountain bike. But it's a 80-kilometer loop and then 3,000 meters of climbing. So in fact, in the podcast, in my talk with Kristiane, I tell him I'm not really training. But the truth is, now I sort of am. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to go out on a bike ride and have certain goals, heart rate-wise. And distance-wise and elevation-wise. Anyway, I won't get into that. But basically, I'm sort of training right now. Really just for this event. I just want to make sure like I don't die in the event. 3,000 meters of climbing sounds horrendous. And then I was looking at the possible routes. Cebu is known to have like really, really steep roads. I was looking. So I got into cycling. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and then you see like some of these like, these tours, these grand tours like Giro d'Italia or like the Tour de France sort of, and then they'll talk about like really steep bits of road. Yeah, it's like 4 kilometers at 11% or 9% or 12%, whatever. But I found out very quickly that Cebu has a ton of little roads that are easily 15 to 20% in gradient. That's how steep. The higher the number, the steeper it is. So if you're going on a flat road, that's 0%, and then 20% is painful. It's painful. One time I went through a road. It's somewhere up there in Busay going down to Canirag. According to Strava, it was like 45%. So crazy climbing. So I just want to make sure that I can finish the event. So I've been training a little bit. Yeah. So this episode geeks out a little bit on training, just a little bit, but there's something good in here for everybody, especially if you've thought about like trying something new like cycling. Guys, if you guys want to go cycling, send me a message. I'm on Instagram at Sober Musings. I have a little cycling group every weekend, and we do like some easy rides just to get people used to it. I'm going there with my cousin and a friend of mine, and we're not doing anything too crazy. So if you want to get into it, send me a message, open invitation. Just wake up really early, probably meet up at 5:30, and we can all go out and cycle. Yeah, but I'll get to the interview, but before we get to the interview, just want to remind you that 032 Conversations has a new episode every Tuesday. And if you enjoy this little podcast of mine, then subscribe to 032 Conversations. We're on Spotify and we're on iTunes. We're on like any podcast app so that it'll automatically download to your phone and then you can listen to it in the car while you're stuck in traffic. And if you haven't had enough of my yapping, you can also subscribe to the newsletter. I have a newsletter that comes out every Monday. Just head on over to 032.com/Monday. Let's get to the episode with Kristiane Lim.
My last meal would be 5:30.
5:30
or 6. Yeah, then 9:30.
But you sleep a little early, sad.
I try. But ideally, mga 9:30 I should be asleep. But sa 10, 10:30, 11.
Yeah. So if mo fast, so your fasting period is sa man nakadugay?
16. 16 or 16. Depends.
15 or 16 hours.
Sometimes if like the day is not, I would forecast the day nga dili kayo na nakalong. So I would like, if I can hold it longer. Or if I'm in training and then like layo pa ang pit stop, longer siya.
Yeah, I noticed like I've been cycling a little, well, not as much as you, pero kanang work a lot more than I'm used to ba. And then I noticed good nga grabe ang energy expenditure.
Yes. At first the thing is pag start na ko fasting is like yung sila lisod. It's, for me I really jumped into it right away ba. I targeted 16 hours. I should be doing something in the fasting period. So nag-bike ko until 21 coffee. Start ko around 7. Akong gitarget nga maabot ko by 21 coffee by the end of my fast. Then I was bonking really, really hard. I wanted anything I could put my mouth in. I could put into my mouth. Like gutom. But as it progressed, ay mong lawas mas mo efficient na into burning fats. So you can prolong if you can. I mean if like the situation calls for a longer fast. As long as you're busy lang. Is like ang problem ko na like if you're cycling with friends and then dili ka ka-control ba kung muhunong sila or something and then once mawala na to yung energy level ganin mo dip down na because wala na ka there's no more activity and then you start thinking of food diyan na siya magutom.
Yeah, I noticed I noticed good like so I know when I bike where I bring like those little
gels.
No, not a gel. I don't know though. Because I'm not an athlete, man. Good, I'm not really doing it as competition.
I always bring gels just for the backup, ba. If I really, really bonk hard.
Mo ba? Yeah, I bring like I don't know what it's called, but it's like a little bar, yeah, like little like Rice Krispies, na little
Bing
chocolate.
Bing.
I don't know. Basta na more different.
Bing Bing is a good option.
Bing Bing the red one.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I buy like substance buy mga
like Cloud9.
So like ba? Pero like less sugar, I think. What I buy, it's I know the brand is Casino. And yeah, more like it comes in a box. And yeah,
okay,
it's super cheap. Well, it's like 15 to 20 pesos each. But I guess Bing Bing would be cheaper. Kana mas barato pag yun.
For 50. If ato ka mo palis colonnade.
Alagi, pero more
size man tingali sa.
Daghan kay sugar, I think. I want more carbs.
The purpose ana pod gyud ana nga food is like when you're empty naman pod good.
Yeah.
For me, it's different. Like if you're carrying that food for your fuel, then that's bad. If it's high in sugar and then simple sugars. For me, I carry those foods as backup man good for me. So
okay.
if my energy is really low, I'm not really feeling good that day, mo na siya ang akong purpose. But I don't use it as my primary fuel.
I use it as what I do is if I'll do a long ride, I'll do like I'll eat every hour.
Yeah.
So in 1 hour, good bahala na if I'm hungry or not. Well, di mo kumuhunom. I'm on the bike and I open it. I just eat it. Yeah, I drink water.
If long rides, especially now, usually mga first 2 hours na ko is fasted man, so I don't eat just water.
Why man?
It's just the way it is. Moy nga lang ingon and then for me it worked. Like you tell your body how to burn your stored fats if you have.
Oh yeah, you're much smaller than I am. Pero wait, yeah, you mentioned sa bike, kato when you went in, nga kanang sugod ka og fasting, but you said at first nga you didn't want to, you at first dili ka mag-fast because you're naturally small, but what made you decide to start fasting?
My father died at 46 years old because of diabetes. And then, akong mama is like on the high blood set nga na gene. So, both sides na ako ay more problem in terms of genetics sa ako ang sa health history. So, somebody told me, a doctor actually told me that this is very good at lowering your blood cholesterol and lowering your blood sugar. And also, if you're an athlete, if you're doing fasting on your training, it's actually more times 2, times 3 ang imuhang mitochondrial response. I'm not really sure kung saan naging na siya kakuan, but the point is, it's you're adapting better to the workout versus katong wala.
So you'll do like fasted workouts,
yeah. If a long ride, if I like do really long rides, like 5-hour rides, the first 2-3 hours, water na ako.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but at first mentally magsiyo ko na nga if the pace goes fast, if somebody likes kanang kusgan ang pace, it's I'm gonna get dropped. But as soon as my body started adapting to that style, okay raman. You just can't hold really long, hard efforts, like long, like 20-30 minutes, but 10-15 is okay.
But that's if you're training. If you're in a competition, how are you?
No, there's no way you can go fasted. You can, but don't expect to do well.
Oh yeah. So you have like a whole like nutrition plan whenever you're in a competitive setting.
Yes, because if you're racing, you want to really go hard, and then there's no way around it. Sugar is your friend during a race. Sugar, carbohydrates. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Well, I wanna go into one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you by kay kanang. So for me, like 2 years ago, I think 2 years na, nagsugod ko, I was like most people ba, in a car, stuck in traffic, so frustrated na, it's how naman yung tapoy na kaayo na ba?
Yeah.
And then, I remember nga, nilarga me once, and then, I think it was we were in like Copenhagen, everybody is all cycling as a commute. I think, then I was thinking, I'll just do that here, I'll just try.
True.
Diba?
Yeah. Especially when you go to Taiwan, it's the most of cycling capital siguro sa Asia. And like, nganong kaya man nila, natuwa dili man?
Well, apparently, most bikes in the world are really made in Taiwan.
Yeah. Then actually rent a bike, it's on the sides in Taipei, and then you just swipe lang naman nila mo regular octopus card, I don't know what it's called.
Like I did that in Singapore. My sister lives there. So on your phone lang, you take a picture of like the QR code ba na siya or something. Mo na murag ni it's like free not super cheap bike rental. But anyway, so I decided nga nagsugod to commute via bike. So at first I just borrowed there was like a bike in the back na nobody was using, and I borrowed it. Ako giayo, guba na ang pedal. But I just had it fixed lang ba. Yeah, so turned out nga nalingaw ko. So I bought like a single speed nga bike just for commuting.
Single speed, yeah.
Single speed.
Di man siya ga-fixie. Di siya fixie.
Nag-fixie na ko. Nag-fix gear na ko ron kay nakuyuan man ko fixed gear ato nga time when nagsugod pa ko.
So
lisod good. Yeah. So basically amo ni akong cycling story, no? But anyway, the thing is, so nagsugod ako commute via bike. Then somewhere along the way I discovered Strava. And then nalingaw ako like it's keeping track of all of your efforts.
Especially if your friends.
Yeah, well that's my problem. Kay at first ako ramang gyud. Wa man yung mga amigo nga tig bike.
Okay.
And then but now na a little bit, pero what I did in Strava, I'm a kind of competitive, so you look at the segments.
Yes.
So Strava.
Wheelies, ones.
The regular. There's segments all over Cebu. Yeah. So, skikog tanaw, I'm like, your name shows up man in a lot of the top 10 segments. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's also like the branding of your name. It says King Lim
Yeah.
on Strava. So more na retention in my head. So at some point, I started looking at your rides because later on, maybe a year and a half later or something, I was like, maybe I want to try doing these really long rides. Yeah, the problem with doing the single speed and then here in Cebu,
The downhills.
well, going uphill is difficult.
I mean, the fixie. Going
Oh,
downhill.
downhill sad ka.
Lisod.
Grabe sad kayo. Oh.
Pugong man ka.
Yeah, kuyaw good. Actually, kuyaw good. And yeah, the flat areas here in Cebu are really just you go north or you go south.
Yeah.
And
And
then
Trans Central, you go up.
yeah. Everything else is go up, man.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, Cebuanos in the Philippines are known to be the best climbers.
Tama ba?
Yeah, because of our just the geographic nature of Cebu.
yeah, because the geographic nature of Cebu is if like Sukato at my time at the time I only had a single speed. If I wanted to go north, okay, lingaw ako. I went north, went to Danao, I went south. Kind of traffic going south, pero murag nalingaw sad ko, but it's flat. But if you want to go anywhere else, you need gears.
You need to climb.
You need to climb. So I ended up buying another a gravel bike, no? And yeah, that's what I was using na. Yeah, so I was looking, di man kay ko familiar. So I would look at your rides and then see asa ka maabot. I was like, asa man ni siya ni Tuyok. Yeah, that's how I discovered like sa Naga na like Uling Road. You can go from Naga to Trans Central Highway.
Kana.
Yeah, that's what so that was my purpose at first. Kanang murag, okay, just look at these guys, look at their rides. But once I followed you on Strava, I realized you're like a real kanang athlete. Like I didn't know anything about you, ba? Kanang you're a real athlete, dude. You're really training all the time. No. So that was a very long way of. I just wanted some context on how
on where to ride.
Well, no, on how I got, how I knew of you, no. So because like, how did you start, man, to be like kanang a triathlete?
In college, I used to swim, competitive swimming, and then it stopped mga third year, fourth year because nurse mo ko. I mean, during nursing was. If you're kanang nursing imong course, you have lots of duty, hospital nga mga obligations, so you can't compete na. By graduation, I mean after college, mamuto ang time ni boom ang running sa Cebu.
Kadaghan na fun runs.
So decided niya, and that was the time nga ni gain si kog weight. So ato is apil, and then it started getting competitive, and then Coach Benjo saw me, my old coach in swimming.
Coach Benjo
Jimenez of Cebu Tri. He's coaching Ateneo swimming.
Okay.
At that time, maram to siya og kanang club lang sa Abeliana. So whoever wants to be coached by him is like magtapok lang may ba. And then we pay monthly na lang sa iya. And then he saw me nga and he's the one who before na buhi ang triathlon, he's the one who nagpabuhi kini kis 1990s kusog man ang triathlon, and then nawa by 2009 nag-start og balik tungod sa katong Ironman sa Kamsur. And then before that pag yun nag-campaign ang Cebu Tri to like races in Dalaget, in Katmon, mga small races na sprint distance just to get people interested in triathlon. And then I caught his attention, and siya nga, you can swim naman, kusog ka mo dagan, why not do a triathlon? And siya, at that time, wala mo ko'y bike. So I did relays. I would do the swim and the run, and then somebody will do the bike for me. And then, I got hooked. After a year, ni-appeal ko sa Naga, and then, by that race, na second, bantingali ko.
Mo ba?
Yeah. So, I was like, if you
so you already had a bike already by the time you joined the Naga?
Yeah, nipalit ko bike. Because at that time, nag-work ko call center. So, I had the money to buy it. So, naka-appeal, and then I got hooked. And then, after, that was 2011, and then by 2015, I got offered by Alaska na to go full athlete.
How does that happen? How do you go from like, like I could join, but nobody's going to offer me.
By 2012, I started winning races here locally. And then 2013, 2014, I was consistently winning na. And then, of course, professional teams have scouts. They have coaches that are into social media, and then who's winning here, who's winning there. And then I got offered a slot in Alaska to train in Laguna for the training camp. For a year, I was under Alaska. And then
Alaska, that milk
the
brand.
milk brand,
Okay.
yes, under
So they have
Frederick Tengsu.
so they have their own murag.
They had a team before. It started 2012. I actually wanted to join it, but I didn't have the pedigree to join, I would say, because I wasn't really a standout swimmer back then. And ang ilang ipangkuha was like, if you're a strong runner or strong swimmer, and then they would turn you into a triathlete, or you're already an established triathlete. So by 2012, I was sort of a fan, just looking from the outside, and then I would comment on their pages. Congrats, dear. And then I started beating some of them. Then the coach kind of noticed he came here to Cebu, and then we did an interview, and then I got in.
So in the Alaskan team,
Yes.
like that was your first kanang murag, you're a full-time athlete.
Yes. Because at the time, since I started triathlon in 2010, nag-work mo ko call center. And then, abot sa point nga like, should I really keep doing this? Something na ba?
Yeah, because I'm sure time-consuming sa gid kayo siya.
I mean, the call center part is like,
oh yeah,
kapoy na kayo, like, especially just the monotony of doing it, answering to calls, and then just, waking up at night to go to work, and
then on top of that, you're training pa yun.
Yeah, the training was what actually kept me, in line. It's like, after duty, training, before duty, mag-training. I had something mabisi ko. Actually, nabot ko 6 years. And then Alaska offered me to join them. Basically, same ra ang salary. Like, this is a no-brainer. I would even pay to do something that now they're paying me to do this. That was for 1 year, and then the team nabungkag by the end of 2015. And then Omega IPI was forming a super team that year. I was recruited, and then a year and a half I'm into organic na sir.
So right now you're under organic.
Yeah, organic.
Okay, kay so more siya in a way. So in a way, it's almost like it's almost kind of like freelancing ba. More siya kay I don't know. I talked, as I mentioned, of Mike, that we were in the podcast. I talked to a lot of people and the mga creatives nga side. A lot of people are really freelancing.
Yeah.
No, so they might have a job here, a job there, but it's not like a
full on like.
Yeah, kanamurag, it's not the thing is when you have like a full time job, is you get a paycheck.
Yeah.
And then as long as the company doesn't fold, kay.
Yeah.
More or less, if you're doing an okay job, that's just gonna continue.
Yeah.
No? Kunya, I guess, in the same way nga, murag, being an athlete in the Philippines, it's kind of
freelancing din.
Mura siya nga no?
Yes. If two things can happen if the brand or the company you're representing might fold good, or you start to decline or not showing any results. So of course, question man sa ang hire nimo or whoever sponsoring you to do these races. It's for them, it's marketing man sa.
Yeah, so sila they form the team because for marketing purposes,
yes.
good mostly.
Yeah.
No, and then I guess it these brands, they also have like that's their kanang, I guess somebody in the brand hilig yun ana for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
No?
Yes.
So now you're under the team. How does the team support you, man, in that sense?
Same just same sa Alaska. It's like we have for me, I have a monthly salary, and then if na races like outside Cebu, the airfare, the hotel, you have another allowance for the food. But if you elect like to race mga non-sanctioned races nila or those races you haven't they haven't kanang cleared gani, you have to pay for it. Like, say for example, I wanna go to races in Mindanao, which like there are a lot of races in Mindanao mga that pays a lot just to kanang small races nga kanang dagko premium ba. That's how they lure elite athletes because usually the big races are Cebu, Davao, and Subic. So what Lanao does or Dinagat does is like they beef up the cash prizes. Okay, of course, athletes are looking for kanang extra income. Ato gyud dito.
Oh yeah.
So like any race that will pay you 50K for like 2 hours of racing is good.
Pwede na.
Yeah.
But you're likely to have a high chance of
and then
winning the race.
what's good with like for Dinagat, they'll pay like 50, 30, 20 first, second, third. And the 4th until the 10th is like, I don't know now, but before it was 9K. So the logistics will be covered. Okay?
At least. No, you do the race, but even the...
Lay lugi ba?
So, bro, like for example, the team, do they have somebody here in Cebu training you or kanang guiding you in the training ba? Like a coach or something?
No. A lot of I think I'm not so sure, but mostly mga elite athletes sa Cebu have their own coaches. I coach myself now. It's a decision I made for myself na ganahan sad ko mo learn ba. But it's always like mo apil ka training camps and then you see coach. I mean, you go to the swimming pool, you go to the track. It's always a pleasure if you don't have to think of kanang unsay mo buhaton. But for me it's more kuan man good, especially if you do well. It's more kanang nindot ang result ba if you actually did the thinking on what to do, on what to eat, or how do you program yourself to be in peak condition during race day. It's a puzzle that's you're always trying to solve.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna ask you, like, who taught you all that? Because at least from my perspective, ba, okay, so nalingaw na mo kog bike. I don't think I'll be doing any triathlons ever. Okay, I don't like to run, and then I don't know, when I swim by, I don't know, after I do like a distance more, I get dizzy. I think I have something wrong with my technique. But with the bike, although I'm not doing it as kanang competition, but you go to YouTube and there's so much information there.
Yes. Even in triathlon, the same.
Oh yeah, diba? So how did you learn all that?
Actually, nagsugod man pug ko kanang swimming with a coach. So I know how to structure a workout, how to plan out a season. Like if I have a race in July, how would I tackle my training in January, in February, March? So fun, and then a lot of it came from like training with friends. When I started, I had more of startups, or there are a lot of guys that paved the way for me, and then I just joined their training, or they simply told me to do this and do that. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you just have to figure out what workouts are better for you, because it's not a one-dimensional program. It's the same recipe for everyone. It's very individual. Some workouts might work for you, and might not work for me, or vice versa. So it's like learning, and then I started to be on that level, and not just a tad below tingali the winners, I would say. And then I was by that time with Team Park Lane, and Alan Ting, the owner of Park Lane Hotel, is a good runner, coached by Coach Banson before. So he told me that if I want, I could train with him and be trained by his coach. And then Coach Banzon, if you're into running communities, like sikat siya as a coach ba, very I would say kanang had a winning record during his heydays in running. So I trained under him for a year in 2014, and then by 2015 I had very good results that year because of him. Not just because of the training, but just because of how they say this, kanang just the mentality of having a coach, and then the things he would say to you just to trigger you.
Mo-motivate,
Yeah,
makamotivate
he's very good
siya.
at that. I've been with a lot of coaches before, and then some of the coaches are very scientific with what they do. Coach Banson has very good science in what he do, but I think what he does best is just the mental. Like, you have to do this. I know you can do this. Just come race day, it will really happen if you believe in your coach.
I just that reminded me of because like I don't I don't really have any coaches, no, but I do join, like, we have this alumni basketball league in Ateneo, and then makuha gid mi coach. We always every year it ends up you get different coaches.
Yeah.
And
you can differentiate.
Yeah, well, okay naman ang coaches usually, but most of them focus on like the tactics,
technique,
the strategy, and then there was this one time, so I feel kind of bad because I forgot his name, but there was this coach nga Ilado. He's coaching in Malaysia, I think, or something. Yeah, he went to one of our games, and yeah, murag our coach under niya. So as a courtesy, murag siya ganang niapil siya. He doesn't know us, he doesn't know our games. Pero I noticed nga motivation kayo.
Especially if you have high regards for the coach. It doesn't work if kanang the guy's talking BS rapod. Because that's I had a kuan before nga, it's like mga inana nga coaches pa, like, that they're just in it for the money, they're just in it for just a pay, compared to people like back then with Coach Banzon. When he was training me, I would try to pay him at the end of the month. He would say no.
Amo ba?
Just the pride of I see you doing well is like a good enough payday for me.
For now, but you've been kind of training yourself.
Yes.
For like what? Like the past how many years na?
Since 2016, starting 2016.
So 2016. What are like the mistakes, man, that most people do? Because there's a lot of people here. Because I know I'm a little familiar with the triathlon scene just because I have some friends who do it, and then also. Like my mom, she joined an Ironman relay. Kanang she did the run.
Okay.
Onya.
She did the what?
She did the run.
Run.
Nidagan siya. Onya. That she started running at the age of like 55 or something. Yeah, just to get healthy ba niya. Nalingaw man siya. So nagpadayon siya. In fact, I have this story kato ni join ko niya with a funner. There was this one weekend like before basketball or gid ang akong exercise.
Okay.
And yeah, there was this one time at like 2 or 3 weeks why basket for whatever reason. Yeah, lahi na kayo. And I was like, Ma, why fun run nga? I'll join you. Pwede ta mag-race. And yeah, ako mom's like, na fun run ka. Ugma sa Sunday. Mag 10K daw siya, 10K. Sige, join ko niya. Asal ka nang binuwang na niya ba? And then, so her pace is like really slow. But,
consistent.
Just keeps going. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stay with my mom. Yeah, just make sure nga towards the end, okay, if I sprint, for sure, if I sprint, I'm gonna beat her. But by sus mga 6 kilometers plus, like, hindi naman yung madaw.
10K is long for someone like if you're just playing basketball. 10K is long.
Yeah, because the basketball is a different tempo.
Up and down.
Good. Yeah, it's you run, you stop, you run, you stop, you run, you stop, and then
the constant pace of a slow run is different beast.
Super. Ako ma, I was like, Ma, una na lang ara. She looked at me, niya naman siya, watch. Tanaw siya siyang watch. I was like, okay, bye-bye. Dagan siya. When I reached the finish line, Carl, siya na ako, Carl, I don't want to, Carl, kilometer 6.38, hunong naman lagi ka. Bugir na kayo.
Of course. What a moment of glory.
Yeah, but
at that time, wala pa po ka nag-cycling.
Wala pa. I'm curious, but I can't stand running. I think I feel like I get bored. But I'm curious because I know that my fitness is a lot better now compared to before. And I'm curious to see how I would do in a run.
Different.
Yeah. But, not curious enough
Running
to...
takes a while to enjoy compared to cycling siguro, I would say. Out of the three, I do cycling most because out of the three, for me, my weakest is my cycling.
You think so?
Yeah. I'm a good climber, but none of the triathlon races are
That's right.
cycling are uphill.
Yeah.
So mostly flat courses, I don't really do well. Anyone who knows me or like follows me as an athlete, I always do well in Subic, where the races are usually going up Tipo Tollgate or going up to Ocean Adventure. Whereas here, the course is mostly in SRP.
Mactan. No, or
it's
it goes through SRP,
flat, windy courses are not made for. I mean, I'm not made for those kind of courses because I'm light, I'm small, so I need hills to to make a difference.
So as a cyclist, you're really a climber.
Yes, I would categorize myself as a climber.
Yeah, because so you do mostly on the bike. So why is it? Are you just like focusing on your weakness or?
Yeah, basically, even though I train less with my swimming and my running, it's always there. But if I got lured into like doing a lot of running before because mo lagi it's my strength, and then it's something that I'm really good at. So by race day, I suffered a lot on the bike, and then by the time it's time to run, I was mostly walking because I was cramping already. So it's wala ra gyapon magamit ng training sa run kay I spent myself too much na sa bike.
Okay, but so the what I wanted to ask you Unta was, so what are the usual like training mistakes that people do? Because a lot of people do train for these triathlons or train in general, even though they're not elite athletes. Like my mom, like before she joined, as in sige gid siya train, like she got a coach to help her. Kanang nga ba?
Mostly most tingali gyud ako nabantayan is especially when you try to when an athlete begins to be kanang competitive, it's just trying to do too much. That's the most.
What do you mean, 90%. Like train too much? Huh?
Yeah, most guys that, especially if they're too hyped up for a race, usually it's like burned out. It's like,
by the time the race comes,
they're overtrained, and then or not doing the right intensities and the right training for the specific race.
But something like they're not giving enough time for recovery. Recovery time
for sure. Especially that's crucial for most like people like I work and then work and train. Mas crucial ang recovery because you don't actually recover. The recovery is like way slower compared to like me. If I train in the morning and I want to train at the afternoon, I can sleep in the middle of the day just to recover and have another good session in the afternoon. If you're working, it's another stress. It's different. It's different.
So if you're like a regular person who has a job, you should probably spend more time to recover. Yeah, you mean by
not really spend more time recovering, but you have to, because for sure if you have a job, you're not training as hard as the pros. Yeah, for sure. So you just have to realize that your work also kanang mo. Your work has some sort of amount of fatigue to add to your training. Yeah. So, ang problem ang god is like, I have, for me, I'm coaching man sad. I have students who are work in the morning or, even though I give them the rest day on the Monday and then on the next day they were retired and what did you do yesterday? Like I had this very stressful meeting. I had to go to the site. And like, that also plays a factor to your workout the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
Like for me, when we were in Laguna's kind of training camp, when it's rest day, the coach will like really demand you to stay at your room.
Oh yeah.
If he sees you like going to 7-Eleven, you're doing a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's a no.
Oh really?
Yeah, you really have to just put your feet up.
I didn't think of it in that way. No? Okay, usually I think of like rest day. Okay, I'm not. Let's do it like a recovery day. I'm not biking today, but I'm still doing all of these other things.
Usually rest days, you will just be given like 15 minutes easy run or easy swim. But I remember one time I had a teammate from Manila, and then out of the team, there were only 3 of us nga kanang in-house ganyan. The training was focused on the 3 of us. And then my teammate in Manila has ang young husband is na ay business nga bulalo, something like that, bulalugaw or and they went to Nuvali for a race. So they brought stuff na pagkaon ba, just pasalubong or something na. So we biked to Nuvali. It's like 20-25 minute bike ride to Nuvali. And then we brought backpacks just to bring the food. And then on the way home, nihapit mi sa balay sa mong coach just to drop off the stuff. And I could really just see how pissed the coach was. Why
really?
Yeah, why guys are riding today? Just gave you a...
This is supposed to be a recovery day. Because I did, like, I like, malingaw naman ko, I just watch YouTube videos niya. They really say, like, the things that I've seen about recovery is that kanang recovery is when your body adapts to the training, basically.
Yeah. Yes. You actually get stronger during the recovery, not during the training.
Not during the training, yeah that's right.
Yeah. So, you have to take into consideration of nutrition, your sleep.
Yeah, I remember I've never really felt the first time that I felt like fatigued good because of physical exercise. Can I just doing like, I think there was this one time I did, it was like, December, so like festive 500.
Yeah.
You're just trying to cram in all of these rides.
Yeah, especially on the holidays.
Oh, yeah, you're not sleeping because
you have nakuha na ni mo roundel?
No, I opted to katong, what do you call this?
Donation?
To donate it.
Actually, mo na akong option yun, but the thing is, I did it last year for the first time.
Lagi.
I mean, 2 years ago, and then wala na abot ako roundel, and it's like, oh man, sayang ba? I wanted it to.
Oh. So that's someone they sent it here good.
Yeah, they sent.
Okay.
I actually just had mine like last week.
Amo ba? I thought about it, man. I was thinking, are they gonna send it here?
Yeah.
Abot ba sa Philippines? Amo ba? Maybe this year I'll do it again.
Yeah, this year.
That's for the listener, it's the Rafa Festive 500. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve to New Year's Eve. You cycle 500 kilometers.
Yes.
Yeah, you accumulate 500 kilometers of cycling. And yeah, I credit that for me personally, I credit that period because it really, it opened the doors for me personally, but in terms of my cycling, kaya naman din. Yeah. Because before that, I think I did 100 kilometer ride.
And then the next day, you're out.
Yeah, next day, I had a headache. I wasn't drinking in my first 100 kilometer. I wasn't drinking water. So, I felt like I was hungover ba. Ko gainom.
Yes. Ana. Last pag. For me, just to get the 500, because I did a mistake before. I just did cycling, 500K. So, what I did was like turn my... Actually, this is a hack to the listeners. If you're a triathlete, you can do it by, like, if you have a long run. I wouldn't say it's an easier way because you're running a part of the Festive 500. But say, for example, you have a scheduled long run, just switch your Garmin to the bike mode.
That's harder.
Yeah, that's harder. But at least if you have to run, that's at least 20 kilometers down on your.
Yeah, I was gonna say 21 kilometers na run is hard. 21 kilometers on the bike, so wagi problema.
Yeah, but if you have a scheduled run on that, for me, I can accumulate like 50, 60, 70K in a week of running. So that's already 70K.
No, I understand where you're coming from because you have to fit it into your...
Yes.
Because I'm not running. I'm just biking the whole time.
No. Yeah, so it's because di man pod makredit ang mga indoor workouts like you
because you need the kilometers, man. Indoor workouts, that's 0 kilometers.
But there are virtual worlds like Zwift, wherein you can ride in London, you can ride in Watopia, you can ride in like the World Championship course. Yeah, and then it will reflect on your Strava that you have actually been to Bergen.
but it doesn't reflect on the Festive
No.
500.
They will know.
Because I think the beginnings of that Festive 500, Mungod, is that it's usually in the Western countries. Yeah, I'm looking at videos online. Yeah, like you see them cycling. It's
Through
like snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're complaining that their knuckles are getting frozen na. Kay bugnaw kayo. Yeah, I'm like, in the Philippines, wala na yung problema. Wala yung problema. Like,
I have friends nga kaya nila the Festive 500 in 3 days.
no?
They do it in 3 days. Okay, ang buhaton na this coming May na ay ng Giro de Luca.
Yeah, I want to join that.
Yeah, you should.
Well,
Actually, it's fun.
So they announced the Giro de Luca in February. When they announced it, in the middle of the Giro, is my wife's cousin is getting married.
Okay.
So wala.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, next year.
I don't know. Is it Bambino or
What's another event?
no? It's Giro de Luca Bambino.
I like the short one.
Yeah. You have an earlier turning point.
But
You do
same,
250 for 3 days.
But same thing. You have to go there. You have
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Like, I want to do the 500. If I'm there, I want to do the 500. What are the point?
True.
For me. Kaya,
Yeah, just the idea of like doing 180K. Because when I did it last year, the longest ride I did was like 70K.
Amo ba?
I ride consistently, but I don't really binge on miles. So what I did was, because ako is I was preparing for early season races like in Davao or in Subic. I needed to train for speed, so I was doing shorter rides than usual. So I did like 270K rides, and then that's it. Then I went to Bohol. On the first day, it was like there was a lot of climbing, so I was with the lead group. It was fun. I remember waking up the next day. I was like, are we still gonna do this? And then there's another 180K, and then the last day was 140. But it starts getting by the third day. There's a professional cyclist that was with us told me the only difficult part is actually the most difficult part is the second day.
Why, man?
Yeah, because they're used to like doing the Ronda Pilipinas or whatever tour they're doing. The first 2-3 days is gonna be hard because your body is still adapting to the stress and then just cycling, and then by the time 4th-5th days, your fitness goes up, your body adapts to
But you're not
whatever
recovering, man. Bro, murag ni anad lang gini mong body.
Yeah, you have to do the miles as well.
Yeah, before.
You have to
Yeah.
be capable of doing it. It's not like magic pod na one. You're gonna feel good by the third day. If you're into that level na ba? Like for them they do the Ronda Pilipinas, which is like 14 days straight.
Straight.
Right? Yeah, then they're riding hard every day. You can't go into Ronda Pilipinas. They told me you can't go to Ronda Pilipinas at your peak. You can't, because if you're already at your peak by the first and second day, you're already burned out. By the third day, you will be just trying to survive until the 14th day. While those guys that are just doing base fitness, by first day, second day, their fitness will still ramp up. By the last week or the last 5 days, they will be at their peak form na. So they will be stronger at the later part of the race. Later stages of the race.
That's how they do it.
That's how, I've been told, I haven't done.
Yeah, because that's right. Because if you're doing like the triathlons, like at
you have to be peak at race day, man.
Bitaw. Yeah, it's 1 day review. Yeah, that's another tricky thing. Like
Yes.
like kanang being like peak fitness at a certain
Depends on an event.
like on a very specific event ba or time of year.
Because they told me yun what they'll do is just like do mostly long rides, not really very fast rides, just to prepare, because on the first few days it will be fast, so your body starts adapting to the speed, and by the time it's usually the Ronda Pilipinas back then was decided in the last few days, last 5 days, because it goes up to Baguio, so there's a lot of climbs. So who's the fittest at that point of the race will win. So if you're already bonking down by the first week, then
Wanna get ka.
I haven't seen in any pro tour races na you bonk on the second week and then miraculously unless you're Lance Armstrong who's doping. Yeah.
Well, they were all doping when daw.
Yeah. Because I don't know. I remember when Lance came back, 2009 was it? He was already suffering on the second week, and by the time they climbed up to Mount Vento, he was good again. He was riding well again.
Which is unusual.
This is unusual. You don't really recover mid tour.
Oh, I'm not that familiar. You can because in the races, because I realized, I enjoy I like to do like long rides. Yeah, I enjoy the more exploration, adventure aspect of it. But yeah,
I have a lot of friends and training partners who are like really into like indoor training, just to dial in what they do. We ride with power meters, so we have watts to measure up the amount of work we're doing on a bike. Just like to, I can do 2 by 50 minutes of these watts.
Yeah, they'll get their intervals in, and then they're done.
For me, I just do it for the joy of riding as well.
Well, again, I can't imagine training like that. Like I have friends nga, all they do is they go up to Willys and then they come back down. Yeah, then they do that maybe once or twice a week. Just go up to Willys and come back down.
Those kinds of riders are different. Because ang uban, they just go up to Willys just to socialize.
Nasa uban, yeah, that's true.
Because Willys
is
more
everybody is.
Kapukanan naman ka cyclist.
Yeah.
So that's a different story. And then for us, it's going up to Willys, like doing it like 3 times over. It's a very easy way of cramming up quality miles. Going up, it's very easy to produce high effort, but you're still going slow. Because say for example, for me, my training program would be like, say for example, I would ride in an hour, and then I have to produce like 90% of my whatever's my FTP. FTP is your functional threshold power, meaning the highest amount of watts you can produce in an hour.
Yeah.
So if you calculate that, you take away 90%, and then you ride 1 hour.
You'll do like a 20-minute stretch.
Yeah.
Of full gas, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 95% of your watts is gonna FTP. Okay.
So if you're riding like there's a certain amount of watts, and you're like, oh, this is already very fast, especially if ridden on a flat road, which becomes dangerous if it's not on a race or if it's not on closed roads. So what we do is you go up.
Yeah. So at least you're going slow.
Yeah, you're going slow, but you're producing the same amount of watts.
No, but like I was thinking in a sense nga, the problem for me anyway, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, more na siya it's hard to get motivation na ba? Like sometimes
yes, true. That's true.
Yeah,
that's my problem too. Ang uban is like they're internally motivated, I guess. But for me, I always try to find a new stimulus to my training.
Yeah, I noticed that you've been mountain biking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Because it's especially if we just bought a place in Glanilla, so there's a really lot of
there's a lot of mountain bike
backyard trails, so it's fun. And mountain biking is different in a way that there are sections that you really have to go full gas. There's no way around it.
Yeah, like
there are
small
sections you have to go full gas just to get over the hill, because there's sections that if you slow down, you're gonna fall over, or
then you start walking.
Yeah, you start walking, and then there's no way you can mount the bike again unless you go up the top of the hill.
Do you put your mountain bike sessions on Strava?
Not yet actually, because I'm using my this watch on my Polar watch for most of my rides now, and the Polar Flow app is in my iPhone, which is broke.
So wala pa. I noticed.
I haven't actually done for the past 2 weeks siguro.
Amo ba? Yeah, like I mentioned, I will look at your routes. I remember again, I follow you on Instagram. You post man, like,
Yeah.
nag-mountain bike. I was like, sige, huwaton din ako when he posts on Strava, so I know where this is. Kaya the problem with the off-road routes is that you can't just Google Maps it.
Yeah. No.
You really have to look at where people have been before for the mountain bike stuff, like katong. Like you did that duathlon in SM Consolacion.
Yes.
I didn't know about that bike until I was with my cousins. Yeah, I got them into cycling. My cousin and a friend of mine, they bought like a bike. They got bikes like 2 months pa. 2 months ago pa ilang bikes. Okay. You were just biking there, just showing them, like just putting kilometers under them ba. I know, just biking there. And then daghan kay mountain bikers who just went up this more asphalt area. I was like, hala, unsa man na? I told them, balik ta, let's try going up there. So we went up there and I realized nga murag, this is a whole route man di ay.
Yeah.
So nibalik yun ko. I went back there like a week or two later just to see good, because I was with kind of mga new bikers man at the first time. So I didn't maluwi sa kunil lang. I'll force them to go through all of that. Pero kanang moto. So I went back there again. Yeah, like may na lang nakatiming ko nga there was a group of mountain bikers there. Storya ko nila. And then they showed me the whole route.
Yeah, going up to Snake Road.
Yeah. It was really
It's hard,
fun.
It's hard. There are sections that are you have to just spin it out. You can't go hard because
the first two hills.
Muskid among wheels. Yeah, the first two hills.
The first two hills.
And then you can only ride at the side of the road. You can't go at the middle.
That was my mistake. The first hill, why problema. So there was no one there. Yeah, I saw the mountain bike group in the top na. And so they were like, sige, kuyog lang namo. We went through the second hill. Yeah, I was thinking, maybe they were going up. I was like, maybe I can overtake them. Yeah, when I went to the...
I
went to the other side. Yeah, rocky naman kayo. Loose rock na kayo ba? Wow, lakaw ko.
And then there's no way you can mount unless you decide to go down.
Yeah, no way. So I didn't want to go down. So halfway. No?
Yeah, muna siya.
Yeah, anyway, the bike that I got, kay mura gravel bike man. And my thinking was, you can sort of go off-road. It's basically a road bike, thicker wheels.
Yes.
So you can't do the super technical mountain bike downhill.
Jumps, like really bumpy roads, big rocks.
Yeah, but like you can do off-road trails.
The duathlon course for sure you can ride.
I did it with I tested it. That's why I wanted to go.
You just don't go as fast downhill.
Yeah, for sure.
Downhill. Uphill, you can even overtake. I mean, you can go faster than, as long as you're in the course first.
Molagi on the routes.
You just can't move around people again.
Mona, I realized that right away.
That's the problem with Consolacion Duathlon. If you're one of the faster guys in the second loop, then you end up overlapping a few guys. Get out of the way.
Mo ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the same route twice, di ba?
Yeah. And then, some who are dismount na sa ilang bike would stay on the part where you can ride.
Bitaw?
They wouldn't move.
Okay. Wow.
So you will end up walking too.
Mo ba? I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that at all. But in Minglanilla, daghan kay mga roads nga murag pwede gyud. Dili kailangan mountain bike gyud nga.
But naa sad gyud roads nga like even on a mountain bike listed gyud.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with mountain biking pa, I would say. Okay, I would say malumba na, but there are kanang
like super technical
compared to the likes of Nino Sorban, Joseph Miller, layo pa.
Kada mga unsa man na sila downhill.
Professional gid sila nga cross country mountain.
Mo ba?
Nino Sorban 2016 ba to or 15 he qualified for the World Championships. He's like top level mountain biker.
Or is that what they call like
XCO. Cross country.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know, but I don't really plan on racing.
Because there were like downhills getting even if you press on two brakes, then you're still moving down.
Yeah, those are like kana makuyaw.
Yeah. you pump the brakes and then your rear tire goes sideways. Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why wala ko nag mountain bike. I decided not to get a mountain bike because a big part of mountain bikes is those enduro style,
Riding.
just pure downhill.
Yeah.
But yeah, knowing my personality, like I said, I'll get competitive.
Mhm.
So I'll start pushing the limit. I'll start trying to push my limits, ba. And then I know, those downhills. If you don't have the skill, if you just don't have it, well, you can get hurt. You can really fall.
Yeah, you can get hurt. True, very true. So ako, because katong pag Sunday nag-ride me, the one ahead of me has better tires. I would say has better gears, and then he was going really slow on some of the technical sections, and then I would start skidding naman yun. It's either two things. I would bump into his wheel, and then matumba mi duha. So what I would do is like, pauno na ko siya for like, okay, gukuro na sana ako. Yeah, but there are really sections nga. I would say I was lucky.
Oh, ba?
Because wala na control akong bike. Oh.
Yeah, those are like, for me, the scariest times I've been on a bike. Like, kanang like disc brakes man na.
Yeah.
Kanang sometimes muhilis na ang
brake pads?
Yeah, like ang brake pad. Mula ka man siya, hydraulic, di ba?
Yeah.
Dili man mechanical, maghihapon ako. Pero like, sometimes hilis na kaayo. Yeah, I don't realize it till I'm going down na.
Yeah.
Yung murag, uy,
smooth na kayo?
full naman niya all the way down naman niya. Kung brakes niya, murag paspas pa maghihapon kayo kung dagan.
True. That can happen, dude.
Yeah, those are like for me some of the scariest
It
moments.
doesn't translate mga road riding to mountain biking because I would say I'm pretty good at going downhill on a road bike, like Transcentral. I can even race up motorcycles up and down in Transcentral. But mountain bike, it's a different story.
Like, it's really a different skill.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing into mountain biking because you're seeing new places and then you're doing just something different. And then I have a heart rate monitor mo and a power meter, so I make sure I'm doing the enough amount of work or workout.
Okay. I thought you were like mountain biking on your rest day or something.
No, it's just some hard riding as well.
Tama ba?
Yeah.
So that's really included in your training.
Yeah, but I do like last Saturday, easy ride. Just went up a river, ang Gisubayang River. But usually, mountain biking is way harder than, if you do it right, way harder than road cycling.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah, because if you go like XCO style, it's not like cycling. You can rest on somebody's draft.
Oh yeah,
right?
That's right.
And then you can just cruise.
And I guess also like the road is there's no resistance.
Yeah, you can cruise on a road bike, but on a mountain bike, it's the course will dictate of what type of effort you have to. There are sections nga mo 100% you can, and then by the time you reach the top, you still have to recover because if kanang hangos na kayo and kutas na kayo, like say for example you go up and then kutas ka, by the time you go down you wouldn't have the balance, man.
Because even going down there's a lot of effort involved.
If you're already redlining going up, you'll be really slow if you're kanang hangos na bagad below.
Yeah, but they want to go fast downhill.
You don't have much leverage in your arms na po, kikapoy, hawoy na siya. Compared to like if you're just going steady up.
Okay, if you're on the road, once you go down, or people say like that's the reward from going up.
In mountain biking, it's different. It's like a total body workout. Your core is like doing work pagyapon kay you're trying to balance yourself, not falling.
Oh yeah? I
don't
know.
It's harder, yun. Especially when you're racing.
Oh, for sure.
Compared to cycling, it's like there are lots of parts of in a cycling race, yun nga, pahuway gigawa. Just, high never. Especially now that it's turned into a team sport, yun.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can draft.
You can draft, and then you have some domestics to chase if somebody tries to break away. Okay, let's chase, and then you just draft somebody's wheel who's chasing. Then, you save a lot of energy compared to mountain bike. Once.
It's really a solo thing.
Solo effort siya.
Yeah, that's what I realized good when I got into cycling. I'm like, everybody's into different things. Yeah, murag daghan kayo in terms of cycling. Daghan kay siya
Subgroups.
like
Yes.
kato, you have these guys nga all they do every Saturday morning mo
Criterium.
mga
It's a
criterium
different
sila.
discipline po.
Different. I tried it once.
Where in SRP or
SRP?
sa one?
Oh, niya, wa ko ka finish. Pero lingaw kayo.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
No, it's super hard. Super hard. I had no idea what I was getting into. But apparently, like, kanang when you do the turn pin,
Yeah.
so they do like kanang running start, so it's like kanang chiller
Yeah,
kayo, and
chill.
all of a sudden it's go, and people just mo burst.
Yes.
I didn't realize a turn pin. You do the turn pin, it slows down, and then bulhot.
Yeah.
When I did it, the first turn pin, this one guy, the guy in front of me almost fell.
Yeah.
And he fell good. He fell off his bike doing the turn pin. Yeah. So nahinay ko, but I didn't realize that nga bulhot
Like
there.
everybody
so,
was trying to accelerate away.
yeah, so the group was like, layo na kayo ang group. Yeah, there, I was there. They're trying to catch up to the group. Yeah, there's no way. No way I was going to catch up to them.
Yeah.
Pero lingaw siya.
I did that first time in 2015. I came back from Laguna because before I left Cebu, wala pa man na siyang SRP at 2020. We call it 2020 before because 20 man ang bayad sa Pustanay. And then, I came to SRP wearing my uniform, so I was like, terno from helmet to shoes. Yeah. This guy looks pro. Put him in the pro ranks. Holy. There was like, most of the guys were in that group was professional, and then there were like 3 foreigners. Yeah. I did survive 10 rounds, and then I did spent the whole day sleeping. I was so tired. I had a scheduled swim and run in the afternoon. I was like, okay, I'm gonna join the criterium early in the morning. It's like around 30K, so less than an hour of biking. But in the afternoon, I'm gonna sleep. There's no way.
No, were you just not used to...
I was just so tired. Just the sheer effort of just trying to hold on. It's like difficult.
Like, it's like a different thing.
Yeah, it feels like you're going full gas for an hour.
Well, again, I don't know. I want to try it again. Okay, I want to see what it's like and being in the bunch, being in the group. Because I would assume it's easier once you're there. It's not.
It's easier, but you still have to have the fitness.
Oh yeah,
because every turn they will just accelerate.
That's right.
Yeah, and especially if there are a lot of alpha males in a group, it's very difficult because, especially around, I think March or February, where the Cebuano contingent of the Ronda Pilipinas, there's like 3 teams here, will usually do the crit every Saturday. So most of them are like in peak form or close to peak form for racing. So it's very difficult, especially for me who's a triathlete. It's a different story, Mangod, if you're doing cycling like full time compared to triathletes nga divided in muhang training ba. So one guy tries to break away at like God knows how fast, 60 over 60 siguro, and then you try to chase, and then as soon as you make contact with the guy who tried to break away, another guy will break away, and then it will be like that for the next 5 laps.
Well, like,
just don't look at if you have a heart rate monitor, just don't look at it. Just don't look at it. Just try to follow.
You're not pacing the those crits, no?
No way.
Kaya wait, well, I have you here, because so you're really coaching.
Yes.
You're really coaching. So the people you coach, mga triathletes also.
Yes. I have a cyclist.
And a cyclist. What's naman? Are these like kanang athletes? Like semi full time or full time athletes, or just like regular people,
regular working class
with jobs.
Yeah.
Mo ba? So, I mean, there's a difference between kanang
training regimens. Like
I guess, no?
Yeah. That's my mistake before. I was trying to implement what I do to them. Siguro. That was my mistake. I had some success with that, but other people might not like it because kanang it's too rigid of a training, but now because the first student I had before is pong what I would say competitive and then he has goals back then kato siya wala pay anak sad, so it was like doing just mostly training, so sort of like he went 2-3 levels up. He was winning his age groups. He was winning races. I mean, kanang sa iyang division ba?
The triathlons.
So, at that time, because he transferred from one coach to me, man, and then he got good results, and then a lot of guys followed because they wanted to have his success. And the problem is, they wanted to have his success, but they don't want any of his work.
Yeah.
So, that, diha magka-problema. If you're not willing to put in the work, it's a different story.
Bitaw.
And then, before, when I started coaching, I did the mistake of like, trying to put one goal to everyone ba. So, as of na, karon lahi na kay, I mean, if you have this goal, and then we will try to adjust what are we going to do depending on your goal. Okay, if you want to win, and then this is what I always tell my students: you can't have, $1 million dreams if you have a work ethic of what do you call that? Entry level job.
No, especially like in where I feel like sports is one of those. It's the true meritocracy.
Yes.
No, like you really.
No,
if you are good, no one can deny that you are good. No,
because it's a different world. If it's in the office, katong mga sip or anyone who has connections can, find some workarounds. In sports, you have to. Well, genetics also plays a
sure
factor. But if you're not willing to put in the work, there's a million other guys that are genetically gifted as well that are willing to work. But if you're not willing to work, you're genetically gifted, and you're not willing to work, then they're gonna beat you for sure.
That's why sports is the true for me, like the I play. Well, before I cycled, now I'm like cycling a lot more than I play basketball. I play basketball quite a bit, and then you'll know good nga, it's clear right away. Oh, this guy is just better than I am, hands down. Yeah. Like I can work really hard, but this guy is just
you can't just. Actually, that's like the good thing about basketball or any sport nga skill related. Like swimming or like basketball. Compared to cycling or running, you can't deny the fact that some people are doping. Some people are doping. Since 2014, I've been an advocate. It's cheating. There's no place in sport.
Yeah.
But in basketball, you can't dope your way to becoming LeBron James or Kobe Bryant.
That's why it's not as big an issue.
Yeah. You can't. You have to be really good. Compared to running.
No, but not here?
I would say yes.
Mo ba? Really?
Anywhere where there's money involved, naagin siya.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what kind? Like in the Tour de France
No,
style? Like
not that
blood
level.
transfusion?
Not that level. Not that intricate. Ang ato agad race, we don't have the tests. We don't have the screening, so just the gym level kind of dope will work. But
what does the gym level kind of dope mean?
The one available in those cheap gyms, ba? Testosterones and
okay.
That actually will help a lot, and then that will reflect on your blood test and urine test.
But nobody's really doing
no
that.
Doing that, so they get away.
Even the big races?
Yes. Here, no. Only the pros get the test. That's why you see mga unusual people, like katusog, hinay, and there's a lot of people nga mo. After a good performance, after 3 months, diburo or had heart problems.
Oh yeah, there's really those are real side effects, diba?
I've been offered a lot before
to
do these things. And it's like my main stand is I did a lot of kanang races. I've been very successful before. I've been successful na with my races, and then just one tinge of that scandal can mar everything that you have done.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I mean, that's really true. Just look at Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, true. So, ako ang point is like, I don't have anything else to prove, so I'm not gonna go into it.
But yeah, that's really interesting, sir. At least for, like, because what I can relate to will be to cycling. So, I know in cycling, let's say even just Strava, for example, if you look at the top 10, people on a certain segment, the difference might be 10
10,
seconds.
yeah, 10,
No?
3, 5,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, murag, if you're taking something that gives you a 2%, 3%, 5%
Yeah.
advantage, dako na kayo
Alright.
na.
Especially in a field where almost equal na mo. Because you guys been like,
Oh yeah, if
you're
you're like
all
a elite
like
athlete.
it's in some sort genetically gifted. You're all in some sort has sponsors with good equipment, and then of some sort you have trained well. So at the top 10% of the race, you're mostly like equal. So any marginal gain is actually will result to minutes, seconds, and result to a win.
Naligid na, no? Wow.
Yeah. Some are doing it for like not because they win, and then once they win, they will get the money. For me, doping is expensive, mo good, and then you can't justify, or you can't kanang
The money that you win
yeah.
is not
There's
equal
no-
to how much you
yeah.
spend.
dili siya ka return investment ba.
Mm.
But in that regard, makabawi man ka in terms of sponsorships. People will try to sign you to market their products.
Mm. Wow, I didn't realize, I didn't think about that at all. Good.
Yeah. So
No?
there's that bad side.
Well, I noticed that. So yeah, speaking of sponsorships, I noticed like, kato, like you're a brand ambassador for quite a number of
Yeah.
brands.
Yeah.
Diba? How did that happen? Like, what was your first murag kind of like sponsorship?
Sponsorships usually sa team like team. So I transferred from team to team. So whatever the sponsor of that team, like I was with when I was with Alaska, we were under Scott bicycles. And then when I transferred to Omega IPI, we were still under Scott bikes. And then when I transferred to Organic, they didn't have these connections ba. So by that time, I started hunting to look for my own, which is a good thing actually, because compared to like when I was under with a bigger team with Alaska or with Omega, you are like they have existing sponsors that can I would say conflict of interest to what you want to have as sponsors with ba.
Ah, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily what you want.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then also at that time, I don't know now with Omega, but during that time, if you're a sponsor and then you don't sponsor the whole team, di man sila mosugot.
Di sila mosugot.
Di sila mosugot to di sila mosugot nga to sponsor just me or just 2 people, 3 people. So what you should sponsor the whole team some sort, like, okay, I'm gonna give you free shoes. The rest is like 50%.
So, they won't do that. They have
They
to
won't do-
sponsor everybody.
Yeah, you have to.
So now,
So
so now that you're doing your own sponsorships, or looking for your own sponsors,
it's easier to hunt sponsors just for yourself. Because you're just getting a small pair number of shoes. You're getting instead of the bike company trying to give the whole team a bike, you only get your bike, just one bike.
yeah, because it's easier for the sponsor.
Yeah, it's easier for the sponsors. And can't lie as well. There's a lot of team members po na they're not very good with social media. They're not very good with marketing. So dili po siya nindot nga return investment for sponsors to provide them kanang free stuff. No?
Yeah, okay, that's what stands out for me, because it seems like kanang it's like this 21st century hustle na ba?
Yeah.
Nga, now that everybody has social media, everybody is a media company.
Yeah.
No?
True.
And then, as in everybody, like, and then especially for someone like you, for your niche, for the people who are interested in running, cycling, swimming, the triathlons, they're very likely to know and follow you, sad ba? And then it's clear to me, you know how to. You make it worthwhile for the brands who sponsor you.
Yeah.
No? So, like, how does that work, man? You just, I guess there are already brands that you like or that you're
Yes,
already
yes.
using, and then you just approach them?
Yes. Actually, I'm very pleased now because I'm actually representing products that I like. That if you look at my history with before, I was. It's not that I don't like the bikes that I used to ride before, but by 2014, 13, 2012, during those times, I was riding already a trek bike. Yeah. So
it's
even
consistent.
even then, I was paying my own money to ride that bike. And then after a few years, and it went full circle, and then Trek now supplies me with bicycles.
Alagi.
Yeah. And then it just so happens that the store that carries that carries Trek bicycles is also sponsoring. I mean, it's also carrying on shoes, which I like. So I just approached them. Can I include the shoes? Can I carry your shoes if you need sponsors for your shoes? Like that.
So it's just unsa nilang good. Kanang really in a way you just sent them a message and yeah. Did you have a relationship with them beforehand already?
Yes. The son of the owner of Dan's Bike Shop actually is my competitor before. We used to compete. I used to beat him in like shorter distance races, and then Ironman distance races. He would beat me, and then it would go back and forth for a few years. But we were good friends. Then by 2014, they were actually on the verge of signing me as a brand ambassador. But then I was signed by Alaska, which has they have their bike sponsor as well. So I sort of opted for Alaska because that's a whole package naman compared to just like a bike sponsor.
Yeah. I can see why. But now that you're
so I went back to them, and then so far we're since 2017 I've been sponsored by them.
Okay, but of course, that doesn't just happen. Like you had a track record.
Oh yes.
To show them that you.
They actually are signing people who are influential in a sense. Like for me, I'm a coach. There's a lot of good athletes nga kanang dili pud maayo in terms of products. But they're just good athletes, but they're not very familiar with the intricacies of like materials, intricacies of kanang technology of a certain bike or certain gadget that I use in training. And since I'm coaching, I need to know mapod these kinds of kwan. And then I'm the numbers type of guy man sad. So I kind of know how to. That's why I'm training with a power meter. I'm training with a heart rate monitor just to evaluate how I'm working, how I'm doing my work, how I just to get a number, just to put a number on the way I train.
Sige, well, yeah. Now that because one of my other things is that I recently got like a heart rate monitor. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna cheat and then get like coaching advice.
Yeah, sure.
No, so di ba naman like different zones?
Yes.
Which one do you like? Zone up to 7 or naman like zone 1 to 5 lang or
5?
5, okay.
Ang 7 is like the power meter.
Power meter, yeah. Okay. So zone 5. So, di ba you can get like your max heart rate?
Yes.
No. The easy way, but I assume not accurate way is 220 minus your age.
Yes.
So there's a way to get like a max heart rate.
Max heart rate.
I'm sure I can search it online on YouTube or something. Like there's an exercise there that I can get my
It's different per sport.
Per sport, amo ba?
Yeah. There are people that are really good at pushing themselves on the bike. And there are people that are really good pushing themselves on the run.
But once you have that number, mo na good na. And I guess you do it every year.
Yeah.
Just so that to see if it changes. Because once you get older, I assume that max heart rate really does go down.
Yes, true.
So
that doesn't mean you're getting any weaker, po da.
Yeah. But you see these ultra marathoners, they're 50 years old.
Yeah, and then once we the time we started to train with with heart rate monitors, people were like comparing, what's your max? They didn't know that it doesn't matter. And then another thing is that actually you have to aim at a lower number. Yeah, because if you're working, we're going at the same speed. Your heart rate is 170, and I'm doing 140. I'm doing way better.
You're doing a lot less effort.
Yeah.
So in terms of the zones, how is it just a percentage? Like zone 1 is a percentage?
Yeah, it's percentage. But There's a correct and accurate way of doing it. Lactate testing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you ride a bicycle on a trainer, and then there's a graph. I mean, if your heart rate gets to 120, then you get prick a needle in your finger and then test the blood. And then,
For the lactate levels.
Lactate levels.
So that's the accurate way
That's the
of doing
accurate
it.
way of doing it. So you have like a certain amount of heart rate wherein your body will start to produce more lactic acid than you can flush. Yeah.
So that's different per person. It's not
Yes, different.
it's not percentage based on
Yeah, the percentage base is more of like a ballpark guess.
Oh, does anybody do that here? So that's like getting
Yes.
our VO2 max.
Yes.
Who does that here?
In Manila, Don Velasco.
Manila. Wala Cebu.
He actually tours the.
Amo ba? So you can
city.
get him to come.
Yeah.
That must be expensive.
If I remember it right, was 8K. I don't know now. That was 2016.
That's not so bad. I mean, if you
Yeah.
go there to Manila, I guess you have to go to Manila again and Sanina.
We did it in Anytime Fitness in Cebu Business Park.
So they brought him in. And yeah, just...
No, he came to Cebu. Yun. It was his like business mo ba?
Amo ba?
Yeah, he had a lot of signees that are if I get this number of heads wants to get checked or wants to get lactate testing, and then if I get this minimum number of heads, I'll go to Cebu.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So, pwede ready ay. So, based on that test, so you know na, okay, at this heart rate, this is the heart, 150 beats per minute.
Yes.
This is when I'm starting to produce lactic acid.
Yeah, that's blood work, Magid.
Okay, but if you don't have that,
You just have to rely on the number
On the zones.
The zones.
so what? Okay, so like zone 2 or zone 3, what's the percentages gani? Kanang,
Zone 2 usually is like below 75%.
below 75%.
Zone 3 is like around 80, 90. And zone 4 is your like threshold. Zone 5 is like your sprint.
So zone 2, that would be the one yung wala pa ka nag-produce of lactic acid.
Yeah,
Ayaw.
yeah. That's the aerobic.
Okay. Alright, I was just curious.
If you're training for endurance, zone 2 is the way.
The way to go.
Then the good thing about zone 2 is like you're not working too hard, you can still work out the next day.
Yeah, because, and then also, because what I did was, I did my longest ride ever, like, about a week ago. And I just stuck to, the problem when you see it in the Garmin, it's zone 2 lagi for 2.1, 2.2, 2.3.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was there like almost 3.
You're borderline in 3. That's okay. Actually.
Yeah, that's okay.
Especially if like towards the end. Of course, you'll be working harder just to maintain the same pace.
But towards the end, I ended up just trying to sprint the last hour or something. No, pero lingaw mas to. But yeah, that was my heart rate question. Kay I'm still new. I've only had it for like a
the
few
only
weeks.
problem with heart rates though is the cardiac lag part of it. If you've heard or if you've say for example, you're working out in a like hill.
Oh.
You want to target zone 4 or zone 3. You just want a zone 3 or zone 2 in a hill going up to wheelies. By the time you reach to you climb into wheelies, by the time you reach in Marco Polo, that's actually the time that's the real heart rate goes in. But beforehand, it's still lower. Still lower pa. It's still catching up to the effort you're trying to do ba.
So you need to warm up good. You have to have a warm up.
Then the problem there is you might be actually pushing more than you're supposed to. What I mean is like if it's different if you have a power meter and a heart rate monitor. It's like in a power meter, if like say for example, you're riding up a hill and then your zone 2 is 200 watts or zone 3 is 200 watts. The start of the climb, you press lap. If it says 200 watts, you're already there.
Yeah, you know.
Right? Like right on, it's zone 2 right away. But your heart rate is still catching up. The problem, if you don't have that power meter, you could be pushing to 50, 300.
Yeah.
And then your heart rate is still way below
And I
zone
would
2.
assume like most people don't have a power meter.
Yeah,
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's getting cheaper, but it's still expensive.
Yeah, mo lagi murag. But that's the other thing with cycling bike. Kanang murag, you can go forever with upgrades. There's really
If you ask me, the best bang for the buck na upgraded is a power meter.
mo lagi daw.
It's there's no way around it yet. If you want to improve, power meter.
But I want to get a new bike, bye.
Of course, I wouldn't blame you if you get a new bike. Yeah.
Here, I have another one. So, like, when I go uphill, I notice that my heart rate, like, if I keep it zone 2, bordering zone 3, I'm going really slow uphill. I guess is it really like that? Or is it also like, I'm going a lot slower than I know I can go. Like, if I didn't have a heart rate monitor, I would be exerting a lot more effort.
At zone 2, you mean? You say?
No, kanang I wouldn't. Okay, so I notice that when I'm going uphill, I'm hitting like, if I stick to zone 2, I'm going really slow. When I know that I have a lot more in the tank, like I can put in more effort.
Yeah.
But I probably, for sure, I'm putting in the effort, but for sure I'm hitting. I won't have it for like the whole.
Yeah.
If it was an uphill ride for 6 hours, what good?
Yeah.
No?
But if you're only climbing up to Buak, you shouldn't be really just riding zone 2.
I should be going zone 2 rapod.
No, I mean, if you're climbing up to Buak, you should be riding zone 4.
I should be pushing.
Yeah, pushing. Yeah, it's difficult, but especially with uphill because of course you're working against gravity, and then there's no wind, so your body heats up faster.
Really?
Yeah,
No, I didn't
so
think about that.
That factors into your heart rate.
I just thought I'm generally heavier. Like
No.
I'm not a climber.
No, and
Is it?
also it plays a factor po, body morphology. I mean, some people are just meant to climb, and some people are naturally better at riding flat roads.
Okay, I just wanted to get that in there. Okay, I just wanted to.
Yeah,
It's fun, man. Good. Like Kinda even me, I'm not really training, ba. Pero, lingaw mo good siya.
going hard.
No, just all of these intricacies, not just going hard. Like I noticed, like with a heart rate monitor, for example. So the longest ride I've done ever, kato, was like 6 hours and a half, kato. I did it from Mandaue, from here to Santander. Okay,
Santander?
Yeah, Santander.
Wow, as long as like 137, 140.
145.
Yeah.
No? So, okay, the reason we did that, kay murag, akong wife, kailangan siya mga tugdumaget eh. I was
Okay.
like, sige,
Bike ko na ko.
Ako yung bike. No, but if I didn't have the heart rate monitor, for sure, I would have exerted myself a lot more ba? Dili ko efficient in a way.
And
So,
then
like,
bonk midway.
Yeah, I could, for diba, most likely, I would end up bonking midway. I didn't even realize nga, once you reach Bolhoon, Oslo, those are
Hilly.
hills man di ay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, like I didn't, it's not mountain, it's just like going up 50 meters, and then going down, you're going up 50 meters, so you're going down.
Yeah.
Kanang,
Lisod yun, sakit na diya, and then windy pa yun.
mo bitaw.
Yeah.
So, with the heart rate monitor, it allowed me good to go through. So even though I'm not training per se, it really helped.
Well, there are a lot of people who's wearing a heart rate monitor, but they're not following what their heart is telling them.
Amo ba? So they're not really just using
just for
it.
the class of like, wearing heart rate monitor. That's the point.
Amo ba?
Yeah.
Well, ako, I mean, I don't know. I like, na naman
Yeah,
good.
Also, when you saying kanang inana, if you get really, really fit, it becomes hard not to maintain the zones.
What do you mean?
Like, for me, for some, like, ang akong example sa ako lang self on the off-season. On the off-season, it's very easy to ride at 160, 170 beats per minute. Because I'd be doing way less effort, man. I mean, way less.
You're not training.
I'm untrained, man. So, it's easier to get into that specific heart rate, ba? Whereas, if you're like really fit, and then you're trying to ride at 150 beats per minute, it's very difficult now because you have to really go fast.
Okay.
Just to get your heart rate to that.
Yeah, because if you're
You're very
trained,
efficient naman.
you have a naturally lower heart rate.
Yeah. But if you're not, like, especially kanang post holidays, kanang good thing na Strava 500.
Malagi.
keep you fit on the holidays.
So, yeah, that was very. At some point in the middle of it, I was like, "Why am I doing this? Like,
True.
this is not the reason why I started cycling, just to chase a number." You know,
70K.
You
Ano
know,
yun? That's 70K per day, matingali.
yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
but I did it. I remember I did it in chunks, man. So basically, I think I ended up doing 100 kilometer plus rides. And yeah, some smaller rides in between.
That's actually better way of doing it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I
One
don't know.
easy in between and then go hard.
Yeah, at some point I was like, my name,
Yeah.
it's Christmas ba, or it's New Year's, so there's a party in the evening.
Ah, yeah.
Okay, tarong tog, you're waking
You're
up
right,
4
yeah.
o'clock in the morning.
I remember nga your breath smells like Red Horse good. The next day, why am I doing this?
Wala ko, kapoy na.
Yeah.
Kapoy nag-inom.
That was 2017 siguro.
Oo. No, mine was like,
A birthday party.
yeah. Mine, I have family that comes in, they're from Manila, and yeah, you know, you're always hanging out, and I have 2 kids naman ba.
Amo ba?
And as such, so I'm used to waking up early in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a kid by May.
Oh, congrats, bay. Lingaw. Kapoy, per lingaw.
Yeah, we'll see.
Per lingaw naman na siya. Kapoy lang yun. Like your imong tog, that one, your sleep will most likely be affected. Good.
Yeah.
So that one, in terms of recovery, no? Kaya when you do a race, what is so for your nutrition during the race, you're eating all the time.
Yeah.
When you like your heart rate, are you keeping track of your heart rate during a race?
No, not really.
Wala na. So it's
just for like warnings, siguro. Especially if the longer races. I'm the type of athlete that does one. I'm very good at short distance racing. Genetically, I'm more of a speed rather than an endurance athlete.
Wait, define short distance racing.
Like the Olympic distance race, 1.5K swim, 40K bike, 10K run.
Okay.
Compared to the 70.3, the Ironmans.
Yeah, the 7.3 Ironman is times 2, all that, more or less,
yeah.
diba? Okay.
90K ang bike, 21K ang run. So I'm very good at racing a red line from start to end. Like 2 hours to around 2 hours of racing. But once it goes beyond that, like 70.3, it took me a really long while. Even now, I'm still trying to figure out how to really pace well.
How to maximize your effort there.
Because, I'm a born racer man po siguro. And someone tries to break away during the race, I will really try to chase. Which is maybe not the smartest thing to do. Yeah.
Especially in that's why, the really longer ones.
So I try to check my watch. I might be doing something like really hard. Okay, that's it. That's too hard. They have a power meter man po. So
so you've gotten your power dialed down, so you know more or less what your FTP is.
Yeah, the problem with the power meter is you'll know instantly if your legs aren't up for the day. Because there are down days, good. These are my training numbers, but you're still struggling. Like the one I had in Davao, I was like pushing just 80% of what I can do, and then I still felt like I was doing 100%.
Oh, so you're struggling, but you still hit what was that, second, third for your age group?
Yeah, the one that won first. There's no way I'm gonna beat him. From Switzerland.
Yeah.
And then Davao course and Cebu course is not a course for me. I've consistently told people, I'm just doing this race because people are here, and then I just wanted to race. But the course is like pancake flat from start to finish. The bike and the run, there's no hill, there's no significant.
So as a runner, you're also a better climber, or?
I think I can do. There's really not much specialty mo sa running.
So, that's why I'm not sure with the difference. So you're talking mostly about the cycling in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, but the problem with the cycling, if the cycling part didn't go well for you or is not meant for you, your running will most likely suffer from that.
Because it's right
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
cycling.
And just to be in the mix during the bike, you have to expend more, man. So by the time you reach the run, you're already a diminished runner than your usual self. Man.
In terms, I would assume that in terms of training,
Mhm.
it's really different for every athlete. Like
Yes,
what
yes.
to focus on, no?
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So I don't know. The only time I was like really climbing was when I was preparing for Taiwan KOM.
Can you tell me about that, Bay? I really wanna. I saw that on
That's
GCN
Yeah,
once.
it's nice. Actually, it was GCN who like made me pull the trigger to join.
Mo ba?
Yeah, I saw it in GCN.
Can you explain it? I forgot. What was it called again? That mountain or that event?
Wuling Pass.
Wuling Pass.
Yeah.
How many meters of climbing is that?
Total. The finish line ends in the highest point in the Wuling Pass, 3,327.
That's the highest point, but that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean you climb 3,000. You probably climb a little bit more if there's a
Yeah, a little bit
downhill.
more. No,
in
there's just
between.
one downhill. If I remember it right.
Amo ba? So it's
there's-
really just
yeah, just the first 19K is a flat part, which actually is a bad thing if you try to compute. Because they would say 3,200 meters, 3,300 meters spread out over 100K. It's like it's not much. But then you discount the first 20K, which is flat. So it's like from KM 22, it started to go up until KM 105.
oh yeah,
And the only
to
real
3,000
downhill
meters.
you will get is in KM 84 to KM 87. Yeah, that's a fast downhill. It will just happen in 3 minutes, I guess, or less.
This doesn't feel like
That's it.
anything.
It's
Oh.
hard. It's hard. It's a different kind of hard than most people would think, siguro.
What do you mean? Why?
It's just you're struggling in you can't produce power in your legs because just the altitude.
Yeah, that's
There's-
something you can't train
yeah,
for
you
here.
can train for it. Once you reach 2,000 meters of altitude, it's a different ball game. Because you start to go dizzy.
It feels good, different. You can tell good.
Yeah. I have
Ah.
one friend who felt like he was smelling blood.
Mo ba?
Yeah, it's different yun. And
So
then,
even if you technically do the distance here in Cebu, like you just go up a
no,
million times, it's
no,
different.
No way. Because you'll be diminished to like 80% power yun.
Mo ba? No?
Then,
So,
just the accumulated climbing put from kilometer 20 to kilometer 105. There's no kanang point there's a flat, you can rest.
is it really steep?
It's very steep in sections, but it's not really steep like Busay steep, no.
Yeah, kaya I noticed.
If you've been to South, it's more of like climbing up to Milk Station.
Okay, in terms of
Yeah.
steepness, that's not so
No,
bad.
that's not so bad. It's the kind of steep you can still go on a big ring.
Mm.
Yeah, but the last 10K is like steep.
Ah, yeah?
Yeah, the last 10K will be like going from Boak to Tops.
Oh.
Yeah, steep.
Amo ba?
Yeah, like really
You know,
steep.
I've never done walk to tops.
You've seen the road, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can
Like,
see like it's
I
a
don't-
wall.
I'm not motivated to go there.
But you can see the road. It's
yeah.
Buak is already steep, but then the road that goes up to Tops is like a wall.
I noticed that, by like I noticed that in Cebu. Like I wonder if it's a Cebu or Philippines thing. The roads are
Yeah, it's illegal, I would say.
whoever designed our roads they're crazy good.
Crazy steep. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
dangerous. That's why there's no buses or big trucks that's allowed in. If you've noticed, if you've been to Trans Central
Mm.
a lot, there's no big trucks. Bawal.
Amo ba?
Yeah, because
That's why. So they all pass like Naga or something.
remember one big bus that went off a cliff full of Iranians? Iran National.
Oh, I don't remember that one. Yeah, kaya tungod
Like
steep good.
40 of them died.
Oh yeah.
Over the cliff.
When was this?
4-5 years ago.
Oh, I don't remember that. As I remember, like I just kinda like so now that I've been going up to these mountains, because I've only had my gravel bike since October, I think. So, fairly recently ako nag-sorry. Kanya, Mark, nakaingon ko nga, whoever made these roads ba? They're
It's
so
crazy.
sadistic yun.
That's why there was only one time yun nga, the Ronda Pilipinas had a stage in Trans Central. Because the cyclist demanded nga, dili na ibalik diya because it was too steep.
Yeah, like Budlaan. There like Budlaan's 2 kilometers of just...
You should try cycling Trans Central Highway from the other side towards Cebu City.
I haven't tried that.
It's twice as hard.
Mo ba?
Because you've been to Balamban, right?
No, wala pa. Like, I'm not. It's hard. It's hard for me. That's what I want to do because
even by car.
I know. Very few times actually, but yeah, there's like a stretch there ng Murag.
Yeah. If you have been to like the Gaisano Country Mall and the Gaisano Mall in Balamban, all the way up to Adventure Cafe, that's 15K worth of climbing non-stop.
Oh yeah,
very steep.
Yeah, steep, good,
and it's hot. Like you will need the biggest gears.
I was gonna say I just went to katong dance in AS Fortuna. But yeah, I started asking them questions on like what can I do for like bigger gears. Yeah. I realized I have like a kanang compact 5034 and 1132 in the back. And I'm like,
you have that's actually good.
Yeah, but
you need more.
I have a gravel bike, so I'm looking online. I'm like, it's normal man there for these gravel bikes to have.
Actually, before, the big dogs, as they say, it's like 1125 dapat.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's more of a macho thing.
I know. I don't care.
Yeah. Before, like you are already a climber. You are tagged as a climber. It's 1128.
Oh, 28.
Now, people are riding 1136, 1134.
Yeah, I want a 34.
I used an 1132 and a compact crank in Taiwan. I think it was in
Taiwan. But that's the thing. So I don't mind if it's not steep.
Yes.
If it's not steep, it's fine. Yeah. I can do like going to like the milk station. It's fine. They're just these small sections that are basically walls.
Yeah.
Like for me, the hardest bit that I've tried, I really suffered. I've only been there twice. Going up to coming from Manipis Road, you go up. If you want to go to Trans Central, you pass Sudlon.
Yes.
That one? But the first time I tried it.
You walk.
Yeah, I was like, so many. Buslot.
And then there are dogs.
Well, they're dogs, but they left me alone. So, I remember
before the bingkahan.
Yeah, before the kana.
Yeah.
So, the first time I went there, I went, wearing my, kanang, MTB shoes, so I'm clipped in. I'm going there, and I didn't realize how steep it was. Got into murag bati man kay ang daan. It's not maintained. So there's a pothole.
Yeah,
I felt good.
Regular, you go there.
Oh yeah? Sure. Yeah, you're near there. You're Bingla nila. Oh, so I fell in the pothole. After that, wala. I mean, there's no way I could get on the bike anymore. So I just walked it. Yeah, that was the beginning portion pa.
Yes.
So tired na. Sorry ka nang murag thinking gabihan. When does this end?
Like 2K kapin? Yeah.
Yeah. I pushed it.
From the katong hugaw, katong naimurag sapa area, and then it starts going up.
Yeah, and then you're already climbing before that.
Yeah.
Then it just becomes really steep all of a sudden.
Kanang na-part na section yung mga ang road rin yan.
Yeah. There's a right turn, and but you have to go up.
Then there's the only part you can cycle is katong pinaka side sa left side, wherein motorcycles are coming down.
Yeah. That's right. I remember I got there, I was dying. I'm pushing my bike. And then naibibingka place on the top. I'm like, kanang hindi pa may stop ko nga, story ako nila, palit ko bibingka. Then,
Kinsa, who are you with?
Ako
Solo?
Usually I ride, I don't have many friends who go
the
cycling.
The first time I rode there was August last year. Yeah, gidala ko og kanang pro cyclist na friend. Yeah. Oh man, I was really thinking Do you hate me, bro?
Yung madaoy.
And then the last bit, said, going to Trans Central, the last bit, there's one steep
That one,
ramp.
there is that like little in Sudlon naman tinali, no?
No,
Right
yun ay going
before-
out to Cantipla na ba? Before
Yeah.
Strawberry Cantipla.
Okay lang. It was better than...
Oh, yeah. Because that one's steeper,
That one's
but
steep
that's
side.
like 300 meters naman.
Yeah, okay.
The one before the Bingkahan is like 2K, 2.5.
Yeah, because after you do that really hard the one before the bibingkahan, in my head, kay murag, you know, murag bahal, like, ninam na akong brain ba? Like, bahala na, it's going. I don't care na.
And then that, ang problem ito is, you tackled that hill, that short hill, steep hill, and then you already have Manipis climb in your legs.
Yeah.
Manipis is 6.6K of climbing, no, non-stop.
Oh, yeah. That one was
killer.
I've only done that area twice. So the first time I passed Manipis, then the second time I passed kanang Uling Road
Ah, yeah.
sa Naga.
And then you tipas ka
And
towards
then
there.
I went up to Trans Central. Yeah, syempre stop in 21-kilometer coffee.
Yeah. Muna akong usual long ride route.
I think I probably know about that ride because just looking at your Strava, I suspect.
Yeah, I usually do that ride. It's one of my favorite routes.
Yeah, except for that that 2-kilometer stretch by. That's why I want more gears. That one, kinda rugged.
Yeah. 11 to 32 is enough for me there.
I don't know, bye.
The 32 is like easy peasy na.
Yeah.
But I climbed there using a sprint. A criterium bike with a standard chain ring, 5339, and then I had an 1128 at the back.
You did?
I came so close to walking.
Ba?
So close.
Yeah, the first time I walked, the second time I was like, I knew naman it was there.
Yeah.
So
The problem with
Push
doing it
it.
the first time, you don't know when it's gonna end.
yeah,
When's the suffering gonna end? Like
Muna.
midway through, it's like, and then you're looking at your heart rate. It's like sky high already.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a heart rate monitor pa when I did that. So I wish I did.
And if you had one, don't look. Don't look.
Well, thank you, Kanang. We've actually been talking for quite a while now.
Yeah.
No, so thank you so much for your
Sure.
time.
It's been fun.
No, where do you want to add anything? Anything you want to add?
No, I think this. I don't know. I don't. It's my first time doing a podcast.
Yeah. Well, where can people find you online?
Just my Facebook and Instagram, Kristiane Lim. Yeah.
Sige, I'll make sure to link to that in the show notes. Nalingaw ko story. I know we can just keep talking.
Yeah, I think so.
But it'll be too long. All right, thank you, huh?
Sure. You're
All right,
welcome.
thanks, Blake. Ako ibang.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope after listening to that, people will want to bike. I don't know. I just want people to bike. I want people to cycle. I want people to bike. It's honestly one of the biggest changes that I've done in my life in the past 2 years, and one of the most it was one of the things that has given me the most joy and fitness and health, that sort of thing. So I urge, if you've been thinking about it, give it a try. Just borrow a bike. You don't even need to buy one. Just borrow a bike and give it a try. And before you know it, one thing that I notice is that the fitness level from 0, it seems really hard. The first time you do it seems really hard, but it gets easier really quickly, especially if you do it often. So I hope you enjoyed that episode with Kristiane Lim. And then thank you, Cube Gallery and Advenient, for sponsoring the podcast. The music from this podcast is Piano March by Audionautics. If you're still listening to this, thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy all the episodes that we release. And if you want to support 032 Conversations, there's 4 ways to do so. The first way is to become a Patreon member. Head on over to patreon.com/032 for all the details. The other way is to buy 032 merchandise. You can head over to the Assembly online, assembly.032.com, or Head on over to our stockists. We're in Republic in BTC, American Boulevard in SM, Hip Street in Ayala, Center Cebu. And then just rep 032 with a cool 032 shirt. And the third and fourth way is to share this episode on social media or leave a rating on iTunes. Again, thank you very much. And new episode on Tuesday. Ciao.